The boom in bus cycles in the property business are very much a reality. But in this special episode of Pathfinders, we met with the emerging builders from the South who are redefining real estate opportunities in this region.
With a 20-year history in residential and commercial real estate, TVH, otherwise known as True Value Homes, is widely recognized for raising the bar of real estate innovation across Tamil Nadu. With the knack for identifying iconic locations well connected by road and rail, TVH customers often find themselves in the lap of luxury. Leveraging advanced technology to provide lifestyle-driven amenities, across a portfolio that exceeds 7 million square feet, TVH has embraced industry best practices in all stages of the development process. We did a deeper dive on the builder's stance with respect to setting the new standard and caught up with TVH homeowners who have become brand ambassadors.
TVH has consistently been constructing upwards of 3 million square feet of residential real estate year over year. Now that figure is staggering, but what's really captured the attention of the market is perhaps the sheer range of real estate offerings. So walk us through your product portfolio and how it's evolved over the years at TVH.
The company was started for 20 years back. Based on that, our experience right now, you'll have to cater for all sort of segments actually. A luxury product for a mid segment as well as for affordable segment. We know what is requirement of the customer. Based on that, we are able to provide for the better product, better design as well as for a delivery. We want to cater for all the market, especially for Tamil Nadu. Because based in Chennai, we have the land bank. Right now, this first project, we have been doing it for like this one quadrant about more than for a 4 million, for 500,000 square feet about for a luxury product. Because we want to position it properly for this product. That is why we started for this Vora the brand actually. We want to give it to them for a better product to the customer. Retaining for existing customer purpose, they need it actually.
Customers are becoming increasingly sophisticated with luxury condominium projects like TVH Quadrant, for example. How do you keep up with the rapidly evolving lifestyle?
Nowadays, for a customer is traveling a lot actually. They've seen that all over the world. They've seen what is luxury product, what sort of facilities they're offering them. Everyone, they experience about it actually. Same thing we want to bring it in India, especially for a Chennai market actually, catering to the Chennai market in terms of facilities, in terms of club facilities, in terms of pool, in terms of entertainment, everything we want to provide for the one location. Based on that, we'll provide for this, particularly for this location is a massive for a 2.5 acres land within the city limit, whereas they can see that for a views as well as for a sea view as well as for a greenery, more than for a 700 acres greenery. Particularly is good for the customer as well as we are catering the customer, we are retaining the customer. That is the most important one.
Now, homeowners in Chennai prefer to be within close proximity of neighboring IT corridors. And yet at the same time, they want to be tucked away from the hustle and bustle of it all. So how do you identify the most appropriate sites for project development?
Based on the listing for the location, based on that we'll have to be able to give them for how we are going to particular location, we'll have to position it for the properly for the product. That is the most important. Like this, for example, you can take it for the quadrant, it's on the main road, whereas we pull out for this building itself more than for a 60 feet inside. We created for a huge greenery in the front side more than 60 feet. Then only we bring it to the building and create the better view for the customer.
TVH has also dabbled into the commercial side of real estate. That, of course, calls for a completely different design philosophy in that what's required are spaces that can accommodate growth, that can accommodate change. So has that been a challenge at all?
They're looking for each clientele base, they're looking for a large floor plate as well as accommodate for all under one roof. That is a concept they want to, a customer is looking for it. Based on that recently, because initially first we launched about one of the project for the Belisha Tower for a Chennai city, about more than for a 4 lakh square feet area. Simultaneously, we are looking for other venture about IT Park Road because floor plate size about more than for a 70,000 square feet for a single floor plate. Based on that, we are able to accommodate for each floor plate about at least for a 2,000 customer for a 2,000 employees in particular floor plate. Based on that, we create that one. As right now, it's got good response from the market also because a good clientele base also we have. Alcatel and Qualcomm is all our tenant actually. It's a good A grade tenant we have actually. He's doing well actually in particular locations.
Now, for homes and offices for that matter to be future ready, prioritizing green building practices is critical. So what's TVH's stance on sustainability?
Consciously, we started for this green concept because last 10 years onwards actually. Right now, nowadays, for the concept as well as for overall for awareness has come up into the market as well as government also. Right now, insisting to develop for a green projects. All our 80% of the projects for a green projects actually.
TVH has established a growing presence in Coimbatore, offering homeowners amenities that are typically limited to the major metros. That said, what's the rationale behind the strategy and has it proven to be effective?
Initially, we thought about it for this particular location. We bought about around 20 acres land for 5-7 years back. That location is because normally, typically for a tier 2 cities, normally they used to prefer for this ground plus one structure or a independent villa or something like that. Concept only is doing well for the particularly majority of this product. Whereas we want to change around for a particular locations. Based on we created a high-rise building, first tallest building in Coimbatore. It's got good response simultaneously. We sold out most of the 70-80% sold out. It's got good response, good feedback from the market also.
And how do you view the competitive landscape? And what gives TVH its edge in your opinion?
Everyone who started for the real estate is not going to work out in this in future. Right now, Real Estate Act is going to be implemented. It's stricter, stringent norms is coming up. We have to very carefully will have to approach to the market. You have to experience is required. Turnaround time is fast is required. We also burn the fingers. We understand the market. We are adopting it for all our future project as well as current project also.
So what's next in the pipeline from here on out? What can customers expect?
Right now, we are doing it for a quadrant. It's almost like verge of completions. We are handing over to the customer. Simultaneously, we are going to launch for one more project near for a Kotrappuram. It's about around more than for a 6 lakh square feet area. This is all the things for facilities, in terms of product, in terms of quality, in terms of finishing. All the aspects we have been, based on that our experience, we want to get the best out of it, we want to provide to the customer. That is what our main motto.
For young entrepreneurs looking to enter the real estate sector, what are some insights you might like to share?
This sector is, earlier it was unorganized sector. Right now, getting into mold of this organized way, the sector is coming there actually. The good thing is the Real Estate Act is coming up, state government imposing for strict norms in terms of green, pollution control board norms as well as for statutory norms, all the things, very strict norms is imposing it actually. This industry, because just like that, we should not start for this industry. You need some experience to develop a large product or a smaller project also, you need the experience, or otherwise you get into problem. Very carefully approach to the market. Once it's approached, once you establish, you will get for the good opportunity for everyone, especially for youngsters.
With over 12 million square feet of projects in the pipeline, TVH has built a reputation for delivering world-class spaces on par with global counterparts. In fact, TVH Quadrant is simply the first in Oro's lineup of gold standard homes soon nearing possession, with aggressive expansion plans ahead across the city of Chennai. A champion for comfort alongside convenience, TVH is at the forefront of embracing home automation in its efforts to meet and beat customer expectations. Offering residents plush interiors and panoramic views, all in the same breath, it's no wonder that 3,000 happy families consider TVH to be their one and only go-to developer.
Great location, great city, great builder. When we saw something which is in the central area, we said, why not invest in it? And knowing that TVH is a good builder and we've bought a house with them earlier.
Plus the way initially it was handled when we met TVH professionals, that plus the location, everything made up our mind.
So much of brand loyalty which they have built. That's also because of the reputation and what they deliver in terms of quality.
The person who has developed it was so large-hearted to leave so much of open space for us.
There are people who just wanted to have, a roof, but there are people who are slowly moving towards, experiences.
They were very accommodative, and which was very nice to find a builder who will work with you.
I think people mean a lot. So I think that is the strength for you, for TVH. People are the strength.
It's time for a short break, but up next, our special feature on emerging builders from the South continues. Stay with us. watching Pathfinders, and in this episode, we put the spotlight on emerging builders from the South. Credited with having completely revolutionized retirement communities is Bahari Estates. We met with the man who masterminded the concept and the happy residents who call it home.
Nested in the lush yet lavish foothills of Kodaikanal, the world's most awarded retirement community development, Anandam, is the nucleus of Bahari Beautiful Country, a 120-acre township conceptualized by Bahari Estates. We explored the developer's groundbreaking approach to building a brand of self-contained retirement townships that offer seniors a service-oriented real estate product that is high value and accompanying experiences that are high touch.
Bahari Estates was founded 2 decades ago. So what was your original thinking then behind bringing self-contained retirement communities to this country? Clearly, your peers must have felt that you were a bit ahead of your time.
Admit we were ahead of times as far as the retirement community living in India is concerned. When we were planning to venture into retirement homes, we were very clear southern part of our country is where the concept can be more acceptive as compared to the other locations in India. We were also very clear when we were looking to venture out into retirement homes, we wanted to have a community which should be away from the hustle bustle of city life. So that is why we moved to a decision of moving outskirts of the cities, and that is how we conceived this India's largest retirement township. So that is how we were inspired, and that is how we chose the location of our Anandam at foothills of Kodaikanal being our flagship project there.
Residents entrusting you with their golden years. That's shouldering a huge responsibility. So what sort of infrastructure build-out is required to ensure that you provide them the luxury and leisure that they're seeking, and yet at the same time, safety and security?
The location we were scouting should be easily accessible, and it should all be nature friendly, surrounded by hills, with natural water bodies. That is how we selected the place at foothills of Kodaikanal. That was one. Second thing, yes, definitely the infrastructure plays a very major role, like you correctly said. When we were looking to venture out into retirement homes and scouting for locations, since it has to be a self-contained townships, the larger area had to be scouted. Say, for example, in our 120 acre of development here in our foothills Kodaikanal project, only 27% of the area is saleable. Balance all area is all open for their leisure, for their sport, for their activities. That is how we conceived it. Now we need to make these seniors active. Now the clubhouse which we have designed is an area of approximate 40,000 square feet spread over 2 acres. All our townships are having footpaths, jogging tracks, a lot of parks and open area. Apart from that, we were very clear, and still we are very focused, that all our communities, whether existing or at all in future, will only be independent villa communities, because high-rise buildings are not advisable as per the sources for the seniors, because it socially disconnects them. There is a very low assurance of internal movability and security. What we do now, we try to arrange some social activities for them in nearby villages so that they can share their expertise.
So what sort of professionally managed services do you offer at Anandam, and who have you had to partner with to create a sense of quality living and yet at the same time community living?
Retirement living, if you ask me, should never be considered as a real estate project. It is purely a service-oriented product. Now, service definitely plays a very major role for the residents. Now, when we say services, now these are all trained professionals where they understand the needs of the residents by having knowledge about their lifestyle, their habits, their food habits, their likes, their dislikes, their sense of humor. The most important aspect of the services is the medical part. Here we have tied up with Apollo Telehealth Services as our healthcare partners for our pan-India projects of Anandam. Apart from that, there are paramedical staffs which are trained by Apollo and are available at site for in case of any emergency consultations. Regular classes for the physiotherapy, yoga is being held there to keep all these seniors active.
Now, home ownership in retirement communities is still considered to be a bit of an indulgence, particularly in our country. How do you work around that perception, or is that part of your USP to begin with?
If you ask me, yes, it is our USP. Indulgence is always there. When we sell our villas to our residents, we always tell them to come, stay in our trial villas, feel these services, interact with the residents, and then take a decision. We are totally transparent with our clients. They are free to interact with our existing buyers about sharing about their experiences. They are free to come to our trial villas, stay there, feel these services, interact with the residents. That is what is our USP.
Many of your residents at Anandam are not full-time residents. They're traveling the world in their retirement age. How do you position and perceive Anandam as an investment property?
You correctly said there are 30-35% of our buyers are those people. We take care of their villas. The entire housekeeping, maintenance, including gardening is being done even if they are not staying there. Apart from that, we offer them the villas on rentals, where we have got two kind of schemes. One is for a short-term rental, one is for a long-term rental, depending upon the client's availability to come back to his own villas. 95% of our buyers are actual users. And we understand it's an open philosophy where you find less number of people selling the property. The buyers are there to chase them to buy the property.
Now, how do you view the competitive landscape in the context of self-contained retirement communities?
To tell you the truth, we did a lot of surveys before, selecting of the land, selecting of the services, selecting of our associates and partners who were there. So a lot of due diligence and research was done before we ventured into the Anandam retirement community, and today the success of it is self-explanatory.
You've now brought the Anandam brand to Bangalore. Has it been a challenge to replicate the same standard of service and satisfaction?
If you ask me frankly, it was a challenge before we launched it. But after the launch, we should always thank our buyers. The confidence, the trust which they had on Anandam has really taken up our confidence to the highest level. We just launched the project 6 months before, where we have already sold more than 50%, and the progress of the project is also going on in full swing. Every day has been a learning day for us. We keep on trying to innovate new things on our own so that we improve on the past for a better future.
And what are some of the fundamentals to maintaining market leadership in the rapidly evolving real estate sector?
One has to be always innovative. That is one. Secondly, the more you interact, the more you understand your clients, that helps you to understand how do we improve for the next. They are all brand ambassadors. So we need to learn a lot from them.
Bahari Estates has been the recipient of several awards and accolades over the years. But what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of personally?
See, the most important thing which has been the success for Anandam is from the designing to the execution to the management. Now our designing teams take care of the designing of the villas, designing of the product, whereas our execution team, when we say to the construction, to maintain quality, to maintain timely possession of the villas, each and everything in the construction is being done in-house by us. Lastly, and most important thing is the management. That is where we manage the communities as per the taste and choice of the residents. I am definitely proud of our residents. The smile, the blessings, their statements, their endorsement to me about my vision, about Anandam, makes me with full of confidence, and that gives me the strength to move ahead.
By pioneering the premise and promise of home ownership in retirement communities, Bahari Estates has carved a niche for itself with its flagship property brand, Anandam. By leveraging its rich understanding of the customer, alongside its in-house construction and management expertise, Bahari Estates has made a mark in the rapidly evolving real estate landscape, and Anandam has become the independent haven where both homes and memories last a lifetime.
Anandam is the only promoter, I find, who has invested in the infrastructure largely. Before people moved in, no other builder does that.
After our retirement, we want to live in a calm and serene and beautiful area.
Quiet and calm, nice atmosphere. We always aspired to have something like this.
Anandam is a pleasure. I love this place.
Here you have peace, you have got a lot of friends, you have got a lot of people who are of my same age.
After a few days of living at Anandam, I had a feeling that my longevity would improve.
The way the villas are laid out and the scenic atmosphere and excellent surroundings and very calm and peaceful atmosphere, pollution free, all this went in favor of our choosing Anandam.
The elderly people need love and affection in the last days of their life. Anandam gave me that hope.
Well, that brings our special episode on emerging builders from the South to a close. I'm Pooja Jain, signing off from the Bahari Beautiful Country Integrated Township in Kodaikanal. We'll see you next time.